Afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to this public forum, which is the first public forum we've had under the new Code of Meetings Practice. As I understand it, we have one presentation and one question. So I'll ask Rhonda Taylor, please provide your presentation from Elevate Bathurst.
Good evening, everyone. Just to introduce myself, as Mayor has kindly introduced me as Rhonda Taylor, CEO of Elevate. And Elevate is an organisation. It's in regard to place branding, placemaking, destination stewardship, and economic development. So what does Elevate mean? So I'm actually going to talk about that, but just a very quick snapshot in regard to my background. So in 2011, I moved to Orange to run Brand Orange, which is now Orange 360. And I did that for 7 years. And then I actually moved to Tasmania. And I ran East Coast Tasmania Tourism for just over 3 years during COVID, which was a very challenging time, but as we all experienced. But it certainly, certainly made you be very creative as to how you could actually promote, but also bring a community together. So I'd firstly like to just acknowledge, if I may, pay my respect to the traditional custodians on the lands on which we're meeting today, past, present, and emerging. The first thing on the screen, after the acknowledgement, is our two ambassadors. So we at Elevate actually began in 2024, but it actually didn't go live until May 2025. We actually engaged with two ambassadors. So the two ambassadors are Matt Moran and Edwina Bartholomew. And I have to say it's been quite a powerful support to have those names and the distribution that they bring and the endorsement they bring to an organisation that's trying to do it different. So this is an invitation that I would like to put to you to consider Oberon to become a partner with Elevate. We will be doing the same presentations to, hopefully in the near future. We're doing it to Bathurst Council on the 11th of March. We'll also hopefully be doing it to Blaney, but also Lithgow. We have had many discussions with all those councils and we do work very closely with Bathurst Council. So a destination leadership and marketing organisation for the Bathurst region. And we see that region as encompassing Bathurst, Oberon, Blaney and Lithgow. So what that means is marketing. So we do marketing. So marketing is about promotion. Stewardship is about protecting. And Elevate does both those strategically. One of the big lessons I took away, there's many lessons from my time in Tasmania, but one of those was, I'm sure you've heard the words over-tourism. Tasmania was getting to that very critical level of making sure that we didn't go into that over-tourism space as you've seen around the world. So positive impact and sustainable marketing is really important, and that's where the stewardship comes into, because it's got to be good for not only in regard from an economic point of view, the community have to respect and understand what this all means, and the environment has to be able to handle it as well. So placemaking and place branding, explain those. This is about our people, our places and our possibilities. Showcasing this region as a place to live, invest, visit and study. In working with Brand Orange and running Brand Orange and the marketing of the Orange region, I became very aware very early on that this wasn't just about marketing for tourism. This is about marketing a destination for people to live and invest and study. So I had a contract with the Orange Health Service, for example, because they built a new hospital and they had to find medical professionals to fill it. So I had a contract with the Orange Health Service and the Western District Health Service to actually promote a worldwide campaign to market Orange as a place to come and live and to work. So under Elevate, and I will get into this in a minute, but under Elevate is the strategic brand, and under that actually sits Bathurst and Backroads, which you may have heard of. There's many businesses within the Oberon LGA that are part of the Bathurst and Backroads, and just reminding that it actually only went live in May 2025. So May 25, we launched our consumer-facing Bathurst and Backroads website and social media platforms. In 16th of October last year, we also launched our B2B business-to-business website, elevate.com.au. We actually were successful in securing a summer campaign with Bathurst Regional Council, which is the Bathurst is Cool campaign. If you've seen it, it was a campaign that we went for and were successful in securing. To give you we designed an infographic on the next slide that actually shows you what we're proposing. Noting this is not fixed, this is just a vision. So is that one. So Elevate is the strategic brand. We're working with the 4 LGAs. Is the tourism brand, which is Bathurst and Backroads, but noting we're pushing hard into Elevate as a place to visit, to study, invest, and live. That gives you a general overview. The opportunity, positioning Oberon with a strong unified Bathurst regional story, elevating the Oberon Trail within a connected bike trail experience, strengthening regional identity through place branding, leveraging established marketing reach and storytelling platforms. Note this is all about storytelling. Storytelling is the power. That's where the energy is. Storytelling gets the message through. That you can throw all sorts of marketing campaigns, but the stories have got to be there. A lot of the trails actually came from, storylines and just understanding the emotion behind that. We're all about encouraging longer stays and span through cross-regional exploration, attracting high-value visitors aligned with community values, delivering measurable economic and community impact, and stronger together, one region, one voice. From an advocacy point of view, this is where it's really important, the advocacy. And nothing could be more important than, there's lots more important, but one of the really big important issues that I dealt with last week and had a meeting with Paul Toole on it was in regard to the Central West to Sydney Corridor White Paper. How do we all come together with one voice and be heard? So place branding is not a logo or a slogan. It's really important to understand place branding is all about unifying cultural expressions that the locals believe and feel. It's economic and social development driven by local identity. It's destination stewardship. It balances opportunity with responsibility. It aligns tourism, investment, livability and education under one shared regional narrative. When it works, it changes everything. And I can't say how important and how obvious that was in Tasmania. Here was a state that had really done it tough and they actually had everything against them. They were hard on each other. They reset their narrative. They came together, all industries came together, and they actually turned that around and actually put amazing value, not only into their commodities, but also into the fact of how they valued each other and the respect they had for each other. So the next step, story to strategy. Every region has a status quo. So it's not about that there is a problem. It's about this is where you are now. So the opportunity is to define Oberon's story before it is defined for us. Turn Oberon's authentic identity into a clear long-term strategy, align tourism investment and community identity, position Oberon intentionally within the Bathurst regional narrative, embed the shared story into policy, planning and promotion. Can I just circle back to that Bathurst regional narrative? This is a shared narrative. I'm also wanting to have meetings with Blue Mountains as well. How do we actually, with the opening of Western Sydney International Airport, with Jenolan Caves, hopefully at the end of this year, there is a really important connection where we all come together and really bleed into this space because it is a very competitive world out there. Target, how we begin, we have conversations within the Oberon community and industry leaders, collaboration with partners to shape a collective regional narrative, align with council to ensure growth is deliberate and sustainable. The shared identity, clear positioning, growth that strengthens community. My presentation, sorry, it's very fast. I could spend a lot more time, very passionate about this particular, this space. Is there any questions?
Councillors, any questions?
How much would the cost be to put this together?
For Oberon?
Yeah, for Oberon.
For Oberon Council? Well, it depends. It really, I've already had conversations with Matt, and each region has a different proposal. So, it's something I certainly can, once I'm briefed as to what it is that we're proposing, each council will have different needs. The discussions I've had with Bathurst Council are certainly around destination marketing, about campaign work, and also in regard to place branding. So place branding, placemaking strategies, and the destination stewardship. It depends on how much of that you want, I suppose. So it's hard to put a price on it. But in regard to Bathurst and Backroads partners, they pay $1,800 per annum plus GST to be part of the program. And we deliver quite a considerable amount for that. And we're actually not trying to be everything to everybody. We're very, very conscious of making sure that it's a brand that comes together with amazing businesses involved.
So that'd be the main cost, 1,800.
It's Bathurst and Backroads.
Include putting the website together and that.
So that's the Bathurst and Backroads website. That's putting on the website and doing all the marketing.
Right.
Yeah. So that's just the Elevate is.
Yeah, it gives you a bit of a.
Yeah, just give you an idea.
Thank you.
Councillor Hayden?
Yeah, are you working with Destination New South Wales?
It's very closely.
Okay, I just wanted to give a little input. I know that tourism is important to some of our small regional communities, but I do want anyone that is promoting the tourism to be very mindful that it doesn't change the dynamics of our community, because at the end of the day, Oberon's never had to source tourists. They come here because we're a laid-back rural community. So we don't want to end up going down the avenue of Byron Bay and some of those other destination places. So I just want to make sure that it's mindful in relation to that.
Ellen, I hear you loud and clear, and I suppose that's where the importance comes out of the work that we do, is that because it's got to be a co-design with industry, community and environment. It has to be, otherwise it won't work. And I saw examples, as I said, in Tassie, where it was already fine to start bringing in more flights and start pulling more people into areas. But the damage that was being done and the community fight back was very, very, it was very challenging, to say the very least, where you have tourists going into communities where they're not wanted. And then the tourists actually leaving their rubbish where the councils didn't have the funding to actually even manage waste management, be it public. So this is exactly.
We've got some of that doing now where people have been promoting the Reef Reserve as a free camp. So we're in free camps across Australia.
Yes.
Of course, they come, but they're not taking their rubbish with them.
Yes.
And that then creates more damage, and then it puts the community at risk of losing something valuable to them.
Councillor Hayden, we've got one more question from the General Manager.
Well, thanks for your presentation. I'm just sitting here trying to piece together where Elevate could fit within an Oberon profile. I'm just, from what's your expectation being the CEO of Elevate? Is it an adjunct to what Oberon already does? Is it a proposal around Elevate working in that similar to the Orange 360 where they run tourism? Is it, where do you see this? Is it a hybrid model of both things? Because I note that you've got a link there that relies on Lithgow, Oberon, Blaney and Bathurst being a cohort. Is it a step into that market, or is it an adjunct?
So the first, in regard to Elevate would like to invite Oberon to be part of the Elevate partners and as a strategic partner. This space is evolving. This space is evolving and it needs the right people sitting at the table. Underneath Elevate, as I said, Elevate is about creating a place brand and a branding strategy that actually brings this region together. I'm conscious of time. In Tassie, just to explain an example, they had to go out there and talk to the community, talk to the industry to try and reset the narrative and bring a region to get the state together so that they had one brand that actually talked to everything that we were. So they actually created a brand called Tasmanian. And Tasmanian brand was created and it actually was defined by a range of stories that actually now describes everything from multiple interviews, 500 interviews around Tassie. They developed this brand. That brand is now promoted with the stories that sit behind it to actually add value. So when a business, for example, let's say Lark Distillery, when Lark Distillery promotes itself, it attaches the Tasmanian brand to it. And that brand actually helps sell and elevate the value of that product because it actually, there's a whole marketing strategy sitting behind that brand. So in regard to Elevate, what we're looking at doing is Elevate's not the name, the brand is yet to be determined, is that actually will build a similar Tasmanian story. If anyone would like to dive deeper into this, if you go to Brand Tasmania, which is not a tourism organisation, it's a brand strategy organisation. If you go into there, you'll see what I mean, but we would like to have the councils represented at the Elevate table to help us build this strategy. So it's not about coming up with a great idea and thinking, wow, that's awesome. We want people to help us do this. It has absolutely been a game changer for Tassie, an absolute game changer. But that does require a strategic approach to it with everyone who has an invested interest to be on board. So in regard to tourism is the Bathurst and Backroads brand. Elevate is the strategic brand that's all about placemaking and place branding. That's the Tasmanian brand up there. As far as the tourism brand, which is Bathurst and Backroads, and I'm sorry to use Tassie all the time. I love Tassie, but I actually love living here more. The Bathurst and Backroads is the Tourism Tasmania brand. That's a marketing tourism organisation. So we're building this, but Elevate is where the key thing. So as far as Elevate partners, we have 12 Elevate partners on board already, and they represent multiple industries, and that's bar one who only joined last week. So we have a legal firm, we have a real estate agency, we have builders, we have mortgage brokers, we have herbal products for animals. So we want to gain on this board representatives from different industries so they can actually channel in the information we require to be informed to help develop the Elevate framework. Gary, I'm not sure if that actually gave you everything. It's complex and it just requires a little bit of time, and obviously I'm very conscious of not taking up anyone else's time.
But I think at some stage, Rhonda, we sort of need to understand how it's different to, say, Orange 360.
Yeah.
Because Orange 360 has required quite large contributions from councils, etc. And obviously, I noted Blaney here. I think Blaney is already in Orange 360. So would they be on both organisations?
That will be entirely up to them. But Orange 360, having run Orange 360, it's a destination marketing organisation. What Elevate is doing is broader than that. Destination marketing is still part of it, but this is about creating a brand strategy.
All right, well, I might talk about that later because we're running out of time. Okay, thank you very much, Rhonda. Thank you. We have a question from Mr. Grimm.
Thank you for the opportunity this evening, fellow councillors. My name is Ricky Grimmer. I'm a resident of Trunky Creek. Following the council meeting at the Pines Wind Farm on the 9th of December 2025, an email was signed by 6 Trunky Creek and Triangle Flat residents and forwarded to the mayor and the councillors on this meeting. This email noted a number of complaints regarding information on the public record and impact on council transparency and accountability, including community trust in the consultation and governance process. I'm here to formally clarify particular statements made by Councillor Hayden at the council meeting held on the 9th of December 2025. I respectfully request that these statements be publicly amended for the benefit of Councillor Hayden, council, and the members of the community who may have relied upon them. I wish to state clearly that I hold no personal grievances toward anyone present here this evening. My intention is to simply ensure that the record is accurate, particularly for the community of Trunky Creek. At the council meeting on the 9th of December 2025, reference was made to events that occurred at Oberon RSL on the 23rd of October. On that evening, members of the community and patrons, including myself, witnessed behaviour that I found concerning. Councillor Hayden made comments to local patrons and landowners to the effect of, "You may well sign, you have no choice, just take the money," in relation to incentives, deeds offered by a proponent. I found her remarks alarming and inappropriate both at the RSL and subsequently at the council meeting. I was concerned enough at the time to ask Councillor Hayden to cease making such comments. Councillor Hayden's manner to the group was aggressive. It's important to note there are several versions of these deeds currently in circulation and that these deeds and documents continue to be amended by the proponent. We are aware of these variations as we are in possession of these copies personally, which further confirms our locality direct connection to this project.
Mr. Grimmer, I am aware of the email you sent.
Yes,
It is with me. I have neglected to reply to it. I received it the 23rd of December and I was away at the time. You will receive a reply.
okay, all right. Do you want me to continue?
Well, I think if it's no more than what is in your email, probably not at this stage.
I have some questions at the end, I think.
You can ask the questions.
Okay. So I therefore respectfully ask, is council responsible for advice or statements made by councillors in relation to this project? Is Councillor Hayden representing the Pines Wind Farm in any capacity? And when making statements publicly in Councillor Hayden's representing the formal position of Oberon Council or that of the proponent? Additionally, I request council and a public clarification confirming that Trunky Creek forms part of the planning and impact considerations for the Pines Wind Farm.
Some of those questions of the Pines Wind Farm, not for council, but if you give us a copy of those questions, we can respond to those.
I think they'll require.
Sorry?
I can forward it to other people. Okay. I'll leave it at that.
Right, thank you. I do apologise for not having replied. As I said, the email, it was just before Christmas and I was away. But I do acknowledge that the email was received.
Thank you.
All right, that's the end of the public forum. I close the public forum and councils have 5 minutes, 6 minutes before we start the council meeting.